I was staring at my wife's laptop screen, frozen in place, my coffee cup halfway to my lips. The notification had popped up while I was checking our shared calendar for Emma's upcoming parent-teacher conference. Just a simple preview of a text message synced from her phone. Last night was incredible. I can't stop thinking about you. When can we meet again? The sender's name was Tyler. My hands started shaking. Not the dramatic, movie-style trembling, just this small, involuntary quiver that made the coffee slosh dangerously close to the rim. I set the cup down carefully on the kitchen counter, my engineering brain already calculating probabilities, searching for innocent explanations even as my gut twisted into knots. Tyler. Her project manager from the advertising firm where she'd been working late for the past 3 months. The same Tyler she'd mentioned casually over dinner, always in passing, always in that breezy tone that suggested nothing more than professional courtesy. I grabbed my phone and took a picture of the screen. My finger moved on autopilot, driven by some instinct I didn't know I possessed. The timestamp read 9:47 a.m., Tuesday, March 14th, 2023. Emma had left for the gym 40 minutes ago, or at least that's where she'd said she was going. The laptop was still unlocked. I shouldn't look further. I knew that. 12 years of marriage, 2 kids, a mortgage, and a life built together should have earned her the benefit of the doubt. But that message sat there like a lit fuse, and I was already reaching for the keyboard. Her Messages app was open. I scrolled up. Emma, 10:32 p.m. Monday. I told him I was meeting Jennifer for drinks. We have until midnight. Tyler, 10:35 p.m. The usual place? I'm already counting the minutes. Emma, 10:36 p.m. You know it. Wear that cologne I like. My vision tunneled. The kitchen seemed to tilt sideways. I'd been home last night with our daughters, Sophie, age 9, and Lily, age 6. I'd helped with homework, made dinner, supervised bath time, read bedtime stories. Emma had kissed me on the cheek before leaving at 8:30, smelling of perfume I'd bought her for Christmas, telling me Jennifer was going through a rough patch and needed someone to talk to. I'd believed her. Of course I'd believed her. I scrolled further back. Days of messages. Weeks. The affair had been going on since January, maybe earlier. There were references to hotel rooms, to close calls, to the thrill of sneaking around. They'd been together while I'd been at my engineering firm's annual conference in Denver. She'd told me she was visiting her sister in Portland. My phone buzzed. Emma's name appeared on the screen with a text. Forgot my protein shake. Be home in 5 to grab it. 5 minutes. I went into overdrive. I opened my cloud storage app and started uploading the photos I'd taken of her laptop screen. Then I opened her email, still logged in, and found confirmation. Hotel receipts. Dinner reservations for 2 at restaurants we'd never been to together. An email chain about a weekend getaway to Napa Valley scheduled for next month when she'd told me she had a mandatory work conference in Seattle. 3 minutes. I heard our garage door opening. I closed the laptop, grabbed my coffee cup, and walked to the living room. My legs felt disconnected from my body, like I was operating a machine remotely. I sat down on the couch and picked up my tablet, pulling up a random news article. Emma breezed through the door, yoga pants and athletic top clinging to her slim figure, ponytail swinging. She looked radiant. Happy. The way she used to look at me during our first year of marriage. Hey, babe, she called out, heading straight for the kitchen. Did you see my shake? On the counter, I managed. My voice sounded normal. How was that possible? She appeared in the doorway, shaker bottle in hand, and smiled at me. That smile I'd fallen in love with 14 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue. The smile I'd seen across the altar when we'd exchanged vows. The smile that had beamed at me in the hospital when each of our daughters was born. You okay? She asked. You look pale. Just tired. Didn't sleep well. She walked over and kissed my forehead. Her lips felt like ice against my skin. You work too hard? Maybe we should plan a vacation, just the two of us. Your mom could watch the girls. The audacity of it nearly broke my composure. She was planning a romantic getaway with her lover while suggesting we needed couple time. Yeah, I said. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to shower and then run some errands. Need anything? No, I'm good. She disappeared upstairs. I heard the water start running. I sat there, staring at nothing, my mind racing through scenarios. Confront her now? Wait and gather more evidence? Call a lawyer? Tell her family? Tell mine? Then I thought about Sophie and Lily, still asleep upstairs, innocent and unaware that their world was about to implode. I thought about our house, our savings, our retirement accounts, our carefully planned future. And I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront Emma. Not yet. I was going to be smart about this. Methodical. I was going to document everything, protect myself and my daughters, and make sure that when this marriage ended, because it was ending, that much was certain, I would be in the strongest position possible. I opened my laptop and started researching divorce attorneys in Virginia. The office building feels different when you're walking in with a secret. I badged through security at my firm the same way I have for 8 years. Nod at the same receptionist, take the same elevator to the 4th floor. But everything's changed. I'm operating behind enemy lines now, in my own life. My hands are steady as I set my laptop bag on my desk. The trembling from yesterday morning has been replaced by something colder, more focused. Hey, you look like hell. I glance up. Derek from Structural Analysis stands in my doorway, coffee in hand. Didn't sleep great, I say. Which is true. I'd lay next to Emma in our bed, listening to her breathe, wondering if she was really asleep or just pretending, wondering if she was thinking about him. Spring allergies kicking in early? Something like that. He merges into the morning traffic of engineers heading to the break room, and I'm alone again. I pull out my phone and open the Notes app where I've been documenting everything. The list has grown. Evidence secured. Screenshots of messages, stored in encrypted folder. Hotel receipts, photographed. Napa reservation confirmation. Fitness tracker data showing elevated heart rate patterns. Next steps. Consult attorney, scheduled for tomorrow, 3 p.m. Document financial accounts. Check credit card statements. Secure children's important documents. The fitness tracker. That's what started this whole thing, though I didn't know it at the time. I'd given Emma the bracelet for her birthday in February, thinking it would be a nice gesture. She'd mentioned wanting to track her steps, maybe get more active. A month later, I'd synced it to my phone out of casual interest. We'd set it up on my account since she didn't want to bother with another app. The data had been interesting. Her heart rate spiked into cardio zones on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons. High intensity, sustained periods of elevated pulse. I'd asked her about it at dinner one night, teasing that she must be taking the stairs at work instead of the elevator. Oh, I've been doing these lunchtime workout videos in the conference room, she'd said, spearing a piece of chicken. A few of us started it. Gets us away from our desks. I'd believed her. Of course I'd believed her. Now I know those Tuesdays and Thursdays were the days Tyler worked from the main office instead of the satellite location. The days her calendar mysteriously showed off-site meetings or client lunches that ran long. My email pings. A message from Emma. Don't forget Sophie has soccer practice at 5:30. Can you pick up both girls? I might be a few minutes late. I stare at the message. Might be a few minutes late. Is that code? Is she meeting him today? It's Wednesday, not one of their usual days according to the pattern I've mapped out. But maybe they're getting bolder. Or maybe she really does have work. The not knowing is its own special torture. I type back, got it, I'll grab them. 3 dots appear immediately. She's typing. You're the best. Love you. My stomach turns over. I set the phone face down on my desk and force myself to breathe. In through the nose, out through the mouth. The same technique I used during Emma's labor with Sophie when the nurses told me to stay calm for her sake. For her sake. Everything I've done for 12 years has been for her sake, for our family's sake. And she's been, no, I can't go there. Not now, not at work, not when I need to function. I open my laptop and pull up our joint bank account. The login credentials are saved. We've never hidden finances from each other. Transparency, we'd agreed early on. Partnership. The recent transactions scroll past. Grocery store, gas station, Target. Her charge card shows the same mundane pattern, with a few exceptions. Restaurants I don't recognize. One charge to a boutique hotel in DC from 3 weeks ago, a Wednesday, when she'd said she was having dinner with clients and would stay at her sister's place in Arlington rather than drive home late. Her sister lives in Baltimore. Has for 6 years. I'd forgotten that detail until now. The lie had been so smooth, so casual. And I'd been putting Lily to bed, helping Sophie with her math homework, living my normal life while my wife invented a sister's apartment that didn't exist. How many lies? How many times? I screenshot the transaction, add it to my encrypted folder. Then I start going back further. January, when the messages with Tyler started. December. November. There. A hotel charge from November 15th. The week of her company retreat that got extended an extra night due to team-building exercises. October. Another hotel. September. My vision starts to tunnel the same way it did yesterday morning, but I force myself to stay present, to keep documenting. This is evidence. This is what the attorney will need. The attorney. Lawrence Brennan, highly recommended by a college friend who went through his own divorce 2 years ago. I'd called yesterday afternoon from my car, parked in a grocery store lot 3 miles from home, speaking in low tones while shoppers pushed carts past my window. I need to be smart about this, I'd told him. We have 2 daughters. I want to protect them. Come in tomorrow, he'd said. His voice was calm, professional. Bring documentation. We'll talk about your options. Options. Like this is a multiple choice test instead of the dismantling of everything I've built. My desk phone rings. I let it go to voicemail, then check the message. It's Jenkins from the client meeting I'm supposed to be preparing for. The meeting is Friday. I have a presentation half finished, technical specifications that need review. I can't think about thermal load calculations right now. Can't focus on building systems when my own foundation is crumbling. But I have to. I have to maintain normalcy. Can't let performance slip at work. Can't give Emma any reason to think something's wrong. She's watching me. I know she is. Last night at dinner, she'd studied my face when she thought I wasn't looking, trying to read me. I'm good at compartmentalizing. Engineering trains you for it. Separate the variables, isolate the problems, solve them one at a time. I open the presentation file and stare at the slides until the numbers start to make sense again. 2 hours pass. I work steadily, mechanically. The presentation takes shape. I respond to emails. I attend a conference call about the Patterson project and contribute meaningfully to the discussion of HVAC modifications. No one would know. No one can tell that I'm falling apart in slow motion. At lunch, I sit in my car instead of joining the usual group at the sandwich place down the street. I can't make small talk today. Can't pretend to care about March Madness brackets or weekend plans. I pull up Emma's fitness tracker data again. The app shows her current heart rate, 72 beats per minute. Resting. She's at her desk, probably eating the salad she packed this morning while I pretended to sleep. Maybe she's texting Tyler. Maybe she's planning their next meeting. Or maybe she's working. Maybe she's thinking about our daughters, about the grocery list, about normal things that normal wives think about. The duality is maddening. She's both the woman I married and a stranger, both the mother of my children and someone capable of sustained, calculated deception. My phone buzzes. A text from my friend Aaron. Beer tonight? Been too long. I start to type, no, then stop. Aaron doesn't know anything. We've drifted over the years the way work friends do. But maybe normal is exactly what I need. Maybe I need to prove to myself I can still function in the regular world. Sure. Where? Mulligan's at 7, I calculate quickly. Soccer practice ends at 6:30. I can get the girls home, feed them dinner, and Emma will be there. She's always there for bedtime. It's sacred to her. Or at least, she performs it as sacred. Works for me. I set the phone down and notice my hands are shaking again. Just slightly. A fine tremor that makes my wedding ring catch the fluorescent light. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., I'll sit across from Lawrence Brennan and begin the formal process of ending my marriage. But tonight, I'll drink beer with Aaron and pretend everything's fine. I'm getting good at pretending. The clock on my computer reads 2:47 p.m. when I save the final spreadsheet, a comprehensive breakdown of every joint asset we own. The document is clinical, color-coded, frighteningly thorough. Green for accounts in my name, red for joint holdings, yellow for anything I'll need to verify. My engineering brain has transformed 12 years of marriage into cells and formulas. I close the laptop and lean back in my chair. Through the glass wall of my office, I can see the usual afternoon activity. Engineers clustered around monitors, someone gesturing at a whiteboard covered in equations, the coffee station doing steady business. Normal. Everything looks completely normal. My phone buzzes. Emma. Don't forget Sophie's dance recital is Friday at 6. She's been practicing her routine all week. I stare at the message. The exclamation point. The casual reminder. She has no idea I've spent the last 30 hours photographing her betrayal, cataloging her lies, preparing to dismantle our life together. I'll be there, I type back. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Love you. My thumb hovers over the screen. Some part of me, the part that still remembers proposing to her on a beach in Delaware, the part that held her hand through 2 difficult deliveries, the part that believed in us, wants to call her right now. Ask her why. Demand an explanation that might somehow make sense of this. Instead, I write, you too. The lie tastes like metal in my mouth. I grab my jacket at 2:52 p.m. The drive to Lawrence Brennan's office takes 18 minutes through moderate traffic. His firm occupies the 3rd floor of a renovated building in Old Town, the kind of place with exposed brick and expensive minimalist furniture. The reception area smells like leather and something citrus. I have a 3 o'clock with Mr. Brennan, I tell the receptionist, a young woman with severe glasses and a professional smile. Of course. He's expecting you. Can I get you water? Coffee? Water's fine. She disappears and returns with a glass bottle and a tumbler. I'm pouring when a door opens and a man emerges, late 40s, graying at the temples, wearing a suit that probably cost more than my monthly mortgage payment. Mr. Patterson? He extends his hand. His grip is firm, measuring. Lawrence Brennan, come on back. His office is corner-positioned with windows overlooking King Street. Diplomas from Georgetown and UVA Law line one wall. The desk is clear except for a yellow legal pad, a fountain pen, and a closed laptop. Have a seat. He gestures to a leather chair across from his desk, then settles into his own. So, you mentioned on the phone that you've discovered your wife is having an affair. Yes. The word comes out steady. I've been practicing this. How long have you been married? 12 years. Together 14. Children? 2 daughters, 9 and 6. He makes a note on the legal pad. And how did you discover the affair? I walk him through it. The notification on the laptop, the the text messages, the hotel receipts. I don't mention the fitness tracker data yet. I want to see how he reacts to the basics first. Brennan listens without interrupting, his pen moving occasionally across the pad. When I finish, he sets the pen down and leans back in his chair. Have you confronted your wife? No. Good. He nods once, decisive. What evidence do you have? I pull out my phone and open the photo album I created yesterday, the one labeled Work Documents 2023. I hand it to him. He scrolls in silence. His expression doesn't change, but I notice his jaw tightens slightly when he reaches the Napa Valley Exchange. After several minutes, he sets the phone down. This is solid, he says. Detailed, well organized. You've done your homework. I'm an engineer. Documentation is kind of my thing. A slight smile. It shows. Virginia is technically a no-fault state, but adultery is one of the grounds where fault can still be established. This evidence, he gestures at my phone, is more than sufficient. What does that mean practically? It means we have leverage in custody arrangements, in asset division, in spousal support considerations. He picks up his pen again. Walk me through your assets. Start with real estate. For the next 40 minutes, I detail everything. The house we bought 7 years ago, now worth roughly $680,000 with $340,000 remaining on the mortgage. My 401k, her IRA. The joint savings account, the checking account, the emergency fund. 2 car loans. Sophie's education savings plan. Life insurance policies. Brennan takes notes, occasionally asking clarifying questions. His pen scratches steadily across the legal pad. Combined annual income, he asks. I make $142,000. She makes $95,000. And you said she works in advertising? Project management at a mid-size firm downtown. The affair partner, Tyler, he works there as well? Yes, he's also a project manager. Brennan's pen pauses. That could be relevant if the affair occurred during work hours or using company resources. Does your wife travel for work? Sometimes. She went to a conference in Atlanta in January. I pause. According to the messages, Tyler was there too. Same hotel. Company-funded travel used to facilitate an extramarital affair. He makes another note. That's potentially actionable from an employment standpoint, though that's separate from the divorce proceedings. How's your relationship with your daughters? The question catches me off guard. Good. Great. I coach Sophie's soccer team. I help with homework, make breakfast most mornings, handle bedtime routine at least half the time. Emma and I have always split parenting pretty evenly. Any concerns about your wife's parenting? No, I stop. She's a good mother. It's true, and that makes everything worse somehow. The woman who reads Lily bedtime stories in different character voices, who never misses Sophie's school events, who keeps detailed charts of their growth milestones, that woman is the same one planning secret getaways with her project manager. I'm asking, Brennan says, because custody is going to be a primary concern. Virginia courts favor joint custody arrangements, but given the circumstances, we can make a strong case for you as primary custodial parent, particularly if we can demonstrate that her affair has impacted her judgment or created instability. I want my daughters, I say. The words come out harder than I intended. I don't want them shuffled around, confused, wondering why their family fell apart. They're going to wonder that regardless. His voice is gentle but firm. The question is how we minimize the damage and protect your relationship with them. Now, do you have any concerns that your wife might suspect you know about the affair? I think about this morning, Emma humming while making coffee, kissing my cheek before I left for work, her casual text about the dance recital. No, she has no idea. Keep it that way. The element of surprise is crucial. If she gets wind of your plans, she could start moving assets, deleting evidence, building her own case. How much time do you need before you're ready to proceed? Proceed? File for divorce. Serve her with papers. The longer you wait, the more risk there is of discovery, and the harder it is psychologically to maintain the facade. He studies me across the desk. I've seen people try to live with this knowledge for months. It doesn't work. It eats at you. I can already feel it. The weight of knowing. The performance of normalcy. Last night at dinner, Emma told a story about a difficult client, and I laughed at the right moments while mentally calculating how much evidence I still needed. This morning, she asked if I'd noticed she'd lost a few pounds, and I said she looked great while remembering her elevated heart rate on February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. How long do these things usually take? I ask. From filing to finalization? In Virginia, if both parties agree to terms, you're looking at a minimum of 6 months. If it's contested, it can take a year or more. But we're not there yet. First, we need to secure your position. I want you to do several things this week. He flips to a fresh page on his legal pad and starts writing. 1. Open a separate bank account in your name only. Don't drain the joint accounts, but make sure you have independent access to funds. 2. Make copies of all financial documents, tax returns, bank statements, investment accounts, mortgage papers, everything. 3. Document your involvement with your daughters. Keep a log of every time you handle pickups, help with homework, attend school events. 4. Continue gathering evidence, but be smart about it. Don't do anything that could be construed as illegal access to her accounts or devices. What about her laptop? The messages are synced there. Is it a shared household device? Technically, yes. We both use it sometimes. Then you're on solid legal ground. But photograph, don't delete. Never alter the evidence. He tears the page from the pad and hands it to me. Can you do all this within the next week? I scan the list. It's methodical, logical. A project plan for dismantling a marriage. Yes? Good. I'll have my paralegal draw up an initial filing. We won't submit it yet, but I want everything ready to go when you give the word. He stands, signaling the end of the meeting. One more thing. Do you have somewhere you can stay if you need to leave the house quickly? My brother lives in Fairfax. Why? Because sometimes these situations escalate rapidly once the truth comes out. I want you to have an exit plan. We shake hands at the door. His grip is firm again, reassuring. You're doing the right thing, he says. Protecting yourself, protecting your daughters. Remember that in the difficult days ahead. The drive back to the office takes 23 minutes. I make it to my desk by 4:35 p.m., and no one asks where I've been. The days blur into each other. Wednesday becomes Thursday becomes Friday. I move through them like an actor who's memorized his blocking so well, he doesn't need to think anymore. Kiss Emma goodbye in the morning. Review project specifications at work. Help Lily with her spelling words. Laugh at Sophie's jokes over dinner. Lie next to my wife in bed and listen to her breathe. All of it performance. All of it necessary. Friday night, Emma suggests ordering Thai food and watching a movie after the girls go to bed. I agree because that's what the old version of me would do. We sit on opposite ends of the couch. When did that become our default? And she scrolls through options on the streaming service. How about this one? She tilts the screen toward me. Some romantic comedy with actors I don't recognize. Sure. She studies my face for a moment. You feeling okay? You've been quiet this week. My pulse kicks up, but I keep my expression neutral. Just tired. Big project deadline coming up. Right. She turns back to the TV, apparently satisfied. You work too hard. The irony nearly makes me laugh. Instead, I stand and head to the kitchen. Want wine? Please. I pour 2 glasses of red, my hands steady. This is what sociopaths must feel like, going through the motions of normalcy while planning something else entirely. Except I'm not the villain here. I'm just the only one who knows the truth. The movie plays. Emma laughs at the appropriate moments. I sip my wine and track the time. At 10:47, her phone buzzes. She glances at it, and something shifts in her expression. Softens, brightens. She types a quick response, then sets the phone face down on the couch cushion. Tyler. Has to be. Work? I ask casually. Just Melissa confirming lunch next week. Another lie. I add it to the mental tally I've been keeping. The list grows longer every day. Saturday morning, I tell Emma. I need to run errands. She's making pancakes with the girls, flour dusting her yoga pants, looking every bit the devoted mother. Sophie is describing something that happened at recess, her hands gesturing wildly, and Emma listens with apparent complete attention. I wonder if Tyler knows she has this whole other life. If he's thought about what it means that she goes home to a husband and 2 daughters every night. If he cares. I'll be back in a couple hours, I say from the doorway. Emma glances up, spatula in hand. Can you grab milk? We're almost out. Sure. I'm not running errands. I'm meeting Brennan again. His office is in a converted townhouse in Old Town Alexandria, the kind of place that charges by the quarter hour and has fresh flowers in the waiting room. The receptionist, different from Tuesday Younger, offers me coffee. I decline. My stomach hasn't been right all week. Brennan appears exactly on time, ushering me into his office with the same measured efficiency as before. He's wearing a different suit, charcoal instead of navy, but otherwise looks identical. Maybe lawyers only own variations on a theme. I've reviewed everything you sent, he says, settling behind his desk. A manila folder sits in front of him, presumably containing the digital files I'd forwarded. The documentation is comprehensive. Hotel receipts, text messages, the fitness tracker data, all of it paints a clear picture. I'd almost forgotten about the fitness tracker. That's what started this whole thing, really. Her heart rate spiking every Tuesday and Thursday afternoon. Cardio load, while she was supposedly sitting at her desk. I've opened the separate account, I tell him. Transferred exactly half of our joint savings. Documented every dollar. Good. And the other items we discussed? I pull out my phone, open the Notes app. I've been tracking my time with the girls. Morning routine, homework help, bedtime. I drive them to school 4 days a week. Emma does Wednesdays because I have an early meeting. I'm the one who takes them to doctor appointments, handles parent-teacher conferences. She does their extracurriculars, Sophie's soccer, Lily's art class. Brennan makes notes on a legal pad. His handwriting is surprisingly messy for someone so precise. What about household responsibilities? Split fairly evenly. She does more cooking, I do more cleaning. We both do laundry, grocery shopping, that kind of thing. I pause. I've been the primary earner for the past 3 years. She makes decent money, but I bring in about 60% of our household income. And the mortgage? In both our names. I've been making the payments from our joint account, but I have records showing the money comes primarily from my direct deposits. He nods, still writing. Retirement accounts? Separate. Mine is significantly larger. I've been maxing out my 401k since before we got married. Hers is maybe a third of the value. That'll be subject to division, but given the circumstances and your documentation of her infidelity, we can argue for a more favorable split. He sets down his pen. Virginia is technically a no-fault state, but adultery is one of the grounds for fault-based divorce. It can impact spousal support and potentially asset division, especially given the duration and nature of the affair. The duration. I still don't know exactly how long it's been going on. The messages I found only went back to January, but those hotel charges started in September. And who knows what happened before that? Deleted messages, careful conversations, the slow build of whatever this thing is between Emma and Tyler. When do we file? I ask. Brennan leans back in his chair. That depends on your timeline and goals. We could file next week if you wanted, but my recommendation: wait another 2 weeks. Continue documenting. Make sure we have an absolutely airtight case. Use this time to prepare yourself and think about how you want to handle telling your daughters. My daughters. The thought of explaining this to Sophie and Lily makes my chest tighten. They worship their mother. They don't know she's been lying to all of us for months. 2 weeks, I repeat. In the meantime, I'll draft the initial paperwork: petition for divorce, custody arrangements, asset division proposals. We'll have everything ready to go. When you give me the word, we file and serve her simultaneously. She won't have time to hide assets or create a counter-narrative. I think about Emma in our kitchen right now, flipping pancakes, laughing with our daughters, completely unaware that her life is about to detonate. What happens after we serve her? She'll have 21 days to respond. During that time, we can negotiate or prepare for litigation. Given your evidence, I expect her attorney will advise settling. A trial would be expensive and embarrassing for her, especially if details of the affair become public record. Public record. The thought of strangers reading those text messages, seeing the hotel receipts, knowing the intimate details of my marriage's collapse, it makes my skin crawl. But that's the price of truth. One more thing, Brennan says. Has she given any indication she suspects something? I think about Emma's questions this week, the way she's been watching me. She's asked if I'm okay a few times, commented that I've been quiet. That's normal. You're under stress and you live together. She's bound to notice something. Just maintain the routine as much as possible. Don't give her any reason to think you're preparing for this. I won't. We go over a few more details. Documentation I still need to gather, financial records to copy, a timeline for the next 2 weeks. By the time I leave his office, it's 11:30. I've been gone an hour and a half. I stop at the grocery store and buy milk, along with a few other items to make the errand look legitimate. Bread, eggs, coffee, the mundane necessities of family life. The cashier makes small talk about the weather while scanning my items. I smile and respond appropriately. This performance so practiced now it requires no effort. When I pull into our driveway at noon, Emma's car is gone. I carry the groceries inside and find a note on the kitchen counter in her handwriting. Took the girls to the park. Back around 1. The house is empty. Silent except for the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of a neighbor's lawnmower. I put away the groceries, then stand in our kitchen and look around. Really look. At the family photos on the wall, vacation in Florida 2 years ago, the girls' school pictures, our wedding portrait. At the art project stuck to the refrigerator with magnets. At the coffee maker we bought together, the dishes we registered for, the life we built. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'll burn it all down. My phone buzzes. A text from Emma. Gorgeous day. Girls want to get ice cream after the park. Home by 2? I type back, sounds good, have fun. 3 dots appear, then disappear, then appear again. Finally, love you. I stare at those 2 words for a long time before responding with the same lie. Love you too. The week crawls by in surreal slow motion. Every morning I wake up next to Emma. Every morning she kisses me goodbye before heading to the office. Every evening we sit down to dinner with Sophie and Lily, discussing their school days, upcoming field trips, the science fair project Sophie's nervous about. I help Lily practice her spelling words. I review Sophie's math homework. I load the dishwasher while Emma gives the girls their baths. We're the picture of domestic normalcy. And the entire time, I'm building my case. On Wednesday, I leave work early, citing a dentist appointment, and drive to our bank. The one where we've had our joint accounts for 8 years. Where the teller, Patricia, knows us by name and always asks about the girls. Just you today? Patricia smiles as I approach her window. Emma's swamped at work. The lie comes easily now. I need to get copies of our account statements, last 12 months. Of course. Give me just a few minutes. I watch her fingers fly across her keyboard. My heart rate stays perfectly steady. No cardio spike. Just cold, methodical purpose. The statements print out in a thick stack. I fold them into my briefcase next to the folder that's growing heavier each day. Hotel charges in September, October, November. A charge at a jewelry store I don't recognize. $240 on February 8th. Valentine's Day was February 14th. I'd given Emma earrings. Had Tyler given her something 6 days earlier? Here you go. Patricia hands me the papers. Anything else I can help with? That's everything. Thanks, Patricia. I'm back at my desk by 3:30. My boss doesn't even notice I was gone. Thursday evening, Emma comes home carrying takeout from the Thai place we both love. I thought we could use a break from cooking, she says, setting the bags on the counter. Her ponytail swings as she moves through the kitchen, grabbing plates, opening containers. I got your usual, extra spicy. Thanks. I take the plate she offers. Sophie and Lily thunder down the stairs, drawn by the smell of pad thai and spring rolls. We eat together at the dining room table. Emma tells a funny story about a client meeting that went sideways. The girls giggle. I smile at the appropriate moments. My phone buzzes in my pocket. I ignore it until after dinner, when I'm supposedly checking work emails in my home office. It's Brennan. Got the financial analysis back. Call me tomorrow. I type back. Will do. Then I open my laptop and continue my own analysis. I've created a spreadsheet, color-coded, cross-referenced, meticulous. Every hotel charge matched to Emma's calendar. Every late night at the office correlated with Tyler's schedule, which I've reconstructed from the messages. The pattern is undeniable. Damning. January through March. 17 instances where Emma claimed to be working late, having dinner with colleagues, or attending evening events. 17 instances where her fitness tracker showed elevated heart rate between 6 and 9 p.m. 17 instances where Tyler's messages referenced tonight or can't wait to see you. My engineering brain appreciates the elegance of the data, the clarity of it. The human part of me, the part that proposed to this woman on a beach in Oregon, that held her hand through 2 difficult labors, that slow danced with her at her sister's wedding, that part stays carefully locked away. Behind a door I can't afford to open. Not yet. Friday morning, I call Brennan from my car during lunch. The financials are interesting, he says without preamble. Your wife's been careful. No large withdrawals, no obvious asset transfers. But there are patterns. Regular ATM withdrawals. Always cash. Always on days that correspond with hotel stays. She's been paying him back. The realization hits me cold. Tyler books the rooms. She reimburses him in cash so there's no Venmo trail, no checks. That would be my assessment. Papers rustle on his end. We also found something else. She opened a separate credit card in January. Just in her name. The statements go to her office email. My hands tighten on the steering wheel. How did you find that? Credit monitoring service attached to your joint account. It flags new credit applications. You both get the alerts, but most people ignore them. I'd ignored it. I remember now, a notification in January about Emma's credit score inquiry. I'd assumed it was identity theft protection doing its routine check. What's on the card? I ask. Restaurants, bars, one charge at a lingerie boutique for $312. Brennan's voice is clinically neutral. The billing address is her office. She's been making minimum payments from her individual checking account. The account where her paychecks get deposited before she transfers her share to our joint account for household expenses. How much total? Current balance is just under $4,000. $4,000 spent on an affair. On dinners I didn't eat, wine I didn't drink, lingerie I didn't see. Can we get copies of those statements? My voice sounds strange, even to myself. Distant. Already requested them. Her credit card company will send them to my office within 5 business days. Good. How are you holding up? Brennan asks. It's the first personal question he's posed. I'm fine. You don't have to be. Yes, I say. I do. He's quiet for a moment. 5 more days, then we file. Can you make it 5 more days? I think about Sophie's science fair project, about Lily's spelling test, about the parent-teacher conferences scheduled for next Wednesday that Emma and I are supposed to attend together. I can make it. That evening, Emma suggests a movie after the girls go to bed. Some romantic comedy that's been streaming for a few weeks. We settle on the couch together, her head on my shoulder, her hand resting on my thigh. On screen, a couple navigates misunderstandings and comedic obstacles before inevitably finding their way back to each other. Emma laughs at the jokes. Her fingers absently trace patterns on my leg. This is nice, she murmurs during a quiet moment. We should do this more often. Yeah. I know I've been busy lately, with work and everything. She tilts her head to look up at me. But I miss this. Just us. The audacity of it steals my breath. She's lying in my arms, fresh from another week of texting her lover, planning their next encounter, and she's talking about missing us. Me too, I say. Because what else can I say? The countdown is running. 5 more days until Brennan files the papers. 5 more days until Emma walks into our house to find a process server waiting. 5 more days until this performance ends. I can last 5 more days. On screen, the couple kisses in the rain. Emma sighs contentedly against my chest. I stare at the television and feel nothing at all. Saturday morning, I take the girls to their soccer games while Emma goes to the gym. Or so she says. Her fitness tracker will tell me the truth later, but I don't check it anymore. I already know everything I need to know. Sophie scores a goal. Lily defends well but gets discouraged when the other team scores. I cheer for both of them, take pictures, buy them celebratory hot chocolate afterward. Is Mom coming to my science fair on Tuesday? Sophie asks, chocolate mustache on her upper lip. Of course. We'll both be there. Promise? Promise. It's not a lie. I will be there Tuesday. Whether Emma will be there, whether she'll even be living in our house by Tuesday, depends on timing I haven't fully calculated yet. But Sophie doesn't need to know that. Not yet. We get home around noon. Emma's car's in the driveway. I find her in the kitchen, meal prepping for the week ahead. Containers of grilled chicken, roasted vegetables, portioned quinoa lined up on the counter. How are the games? She asks. Sophie scored. Lily played hard. That's great. She wipes her hands on a towel, comes over to hug the girls. I'm so proud of you both. They beam at her praise. They have no idea that in less than a week, their entire world will fracture. The weight of that knowledge sits heavy in my chest. But I've made my choice. I've seen the evidence, run the numbers, consulted the attorney. There's no other path forward. Emma made her choices. Now I'm making mine. Monday morning, 3 days until filing, I'll make one final sweep of her devices. One last check to ensure nothing has changed, that she hasn't grown suspicious. Then Tuesday, Sophie's science fair. Wednesday, parent-teacher conferences. Thursday, the papers get filed. Thursday, everything burns. The alarm goes off at 6:15 a.m. on Thursday morning, and I wake up already dressed in my mind. Suit, tie, the good watch Emma gave me for our 10th anniversary. The irony isn't lost on me. Emma stirs beside me, her hand finding my chest like it has for 12 years. Morning, she murmurs, voice thick with sleep. Morning. I kiss her forehead. My lips feel like rubber. She has no idea that in 4 hours, a process server will hand her divorce papers at her office. Lawrence suggested serving her at work. Neutral territory, witnesses present, reduces the chance of a scene. I'd agreed, though the thought of her humiliation gave me no satisfaction. Just a cold, practical acknowledgement that it needed to happen somewhere. I shower, shave, knot my tie with steady hands. The face in the mirror looks like mine, but doesn't feel like mine. This version of me has spent 9 days living a double life, smiling over breakfast while mentally reviewing asset spreadsheets, kissing his wife goodbye while knowing exactly which hotel she'd be meeting Tyler at later. Downstairs, Emma's already making coffee, still in her robe. Her hair's loose around her shoulders and she's humming something, a song I don't recognize. Probably something Tyler likes. "Big day?" she asks, handing me a mug. "Just the usual." I take a sip. She's made it exactly how I like it. She still knows these things about me, even while she's been lying about everything else. "I've got that 10 a.m. with the Riverside account," she says, pouring her own cup. "Should run long. I'll probably grab lunch out." The Riverside account. I'd found it in her calendar, synced to the laptop she still hasn't thought to password protect from me. There is no Riverside account. There's a 10:30 reservation at the Madison, the boutique hotel downtown where she met Tyler 3 times last month. Room 412, booked under her name on that secret credit card. "Sounds good," I say. "I'll pick up the girls from school." She smiles, genuine warmth in her eyes. "You're the best." The girls thunder downstairs at 6:45, backpacks bouncing. Sophie's complaining about a math test. Lily's trying to explain something about her friend Madison's new puppy. I make them scrambled eggs while Emma packs their lunches, and we move through our morning choreography like dancers who've practiced the routine 1,000 times. This is what kills me, not the betrayal itself, but how seamlessly she performs this. How she can kiss our daughters goodbye, remind Sophie about her retainer, laugh at Lily's joke about her teacher's weird sneeze, all while planning to spend her lunch hour in bed with another man. I drive the girls to school, watch them disappear into the building. Sophie turns and waves at the door, her backpack nearly as big as she is. I wave back. By the time I reach my office, it's 8:47 a.m. Lawrence texted me 20 minutes ago. "Server confirmed for 10:30. You okay?" "Fine," I'd written back. Now I sit at my desk, staring at my computer screen without seeing it. My colleague David stops by to ask about the Henderson project. "Wrong name," I think absently. "We're not using that one." And I give him some answer that must make sense because he nods and leaves. At 10:15, my phone buzzes. Emma. Running a few minutes late. Traffic is insane. I stare at the message. She's texting me while driving to meet her lover. Probably stuck on the 295, annoyed that she might miss her reservation window. Does she text Tyler too? Tell him she's on her way, that she can't wait to see him? I don't respond. At 10:33, Lawrence calls. "It's done," he says. Server approached her in the lobby. She signed for the envelope, opened it right there. He said she went very pale. "Okay." My voice sounds distant. "She'll probably call you. Don't answer. Don't respond to texts. Let her sit with it. We discussed this." I remember. "You still have that 2 p.m. at my office?" "Yes." "Good. See you then." He hangs up. I set the phone on my desk and watch it like it's a live grenade. It rings at 10:41. Emma's name lights up the screen. I let it go to voicemail. It rings again immediately. Voicemail. A text appears. "Call me." Then another. What the hell is this? Then, "This is insane. We need to talk right now." I turn the phone face down and go back to my computer. The Henderson project. No. The Riverside project. No. That's Emma's fake meeting. I can't remember what I'm supposed to be working on. David appears in my doorway again. Hey, you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost. Just a headache, I say. I'm fine. By noon, Emma has called 17 times and sent 43 texts. I know because I check the lock screen every few minutes, watching the numbers climb. The messages have evolved from angry demands to confusion to something that might be panic. Please just talk to me. This is a huge misunderstanding. I don't understand what's happening. Please, I'm begging you. At 12:30, she tries a different approach. What about the girls? We need to talk about the girls. That one almost breaks me, almost. But I remember Lawrence's advice. She'll use every tool she has. The kids, your history, guilt, anger, tears. Don't engage, not until we're ready. At 1:45, I leave for Lawrence's office. My phone is mercifully quiet during the drive. Maybe she's given up. Or maybe she's consulting her own lawyer. The thought should worry me, but Lawrence has assured me we're several steps ahead. The documentation, the timeline, the secret credit card, the hotel receipts. She can hire whoever she wants, he'd said. The evidence is the evidence. Lawrence's office is in a converted brownstone in Old Town. His paralegal, a sharp-eyed woman named Patricia, shows me to the conference room. Lawrence is already there, manila folders arranged on the table like surgical instruments. How are you holding up? He asks. I'm here. That's all that matters today. He slides a folder toward me. She's been served. Now we wait for her response. She has 30 days to file, but most people do it within a week. We need to discuss temporary arrangements, custody schedule, who stays in the house, financial support. We spend 90 minutes going through scenarios. Lawrence recommends I stay in the house with the girls, that Emma can stay with her sister or find an apartment. The court will prioritize stability for the children, he explains. You're the one who picks them up from school, helps with homework. We document that pattern. She'll fight it, I say. Probably. But fighting and winning are different things. He makes a note on his legal pad. Has she tried to contact you? 62 times last I checked. Don't respond. Not today, not tomorrow. When you're ready to communicate, it goes through me. Every word in writing, every exchange documented. No phone calls, no face-to-face meetings without witnesses. She's still going to be at the house, I point out. I can't avoid her forever. You can tonight. Stay with a friend, a hotel, anywhere. Give her 24 hours to process. Tomorrow, we'll set ground rules for cohabitation until one of you moves out. I think about this. About walking into my own house and seeing her there, knowing what she knows now. Watching her try to explain, to justify, to somehow make this my fault. I'll stay at my brother's, I say. Lawrence nods. Good. I'll draft a communication protocol tonight. In the meantime, radio silence. When I leave his office at 3:47, my phone shows 91 missed calls and 116 texts. The most recent, from 10 minutes ago. I know you're reading these. Please. Just give me a chance to explain. I pick up the girls at 3:15, taking them for ice cream even though it's a school night. Sophie gets chocolate chip, Lily gets strawberry, and they chatter about their day while I smile and nod and feel like I'm watching them through glass. Is Mom meeting us at home? Sophie asks, chocolate smeared on her chin. Not sure, sweetheart. She had a busy day. The understatement of the century. I pull into my brother's driveway at 8:47 p.m. with an overnight bag and a weight in my chest that feels like it might cave me in. The girls are with Emma's mother. I'd called her from the car, kept it simple. Emma and I are having some difficulties. Can you take Sophie and Lily for the night? She'd agreed without questions, bless her. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing. Emma's called 140 times now. The texts have cycled through anger, bargaining, desperation. The last one, sent 3 minutes ago. You're destroying our family over nothing. Nothing. Please don't do this to our girls. I turn the phone off completely. The divorce takes 8 months. Emma fights everything: custody, assets, the house. Her lawyer is expensive and aggressive, but Lawrence was right. Evidence is evidence. The hotel receipts, the text messages, the secret credit card with $4,000 in charges for an affair she finally admits to in a deposition on a rainy Tuesday in June. It meant nothing, she says on record, mascara running. It was a mistake. A stupid, terrible mistake. But mistakes don't last 9 months. Mistakes don't involve 17 hotel stays and a planned weekend in Napa Valley. The judge awards me primary custody. Sophie and Lily stay in our house. My house now. Emma gets them every other weekend and Wednesday dinners. She moves into a 2-bedroom apartment in Arlington with furniture from IKEA and framed photos of the girls covering every surface. I keep the house. The equity gets split, but I buy out her share with my retirement account. It hurts financially, but the alternative, selling, uprooting the girls again, hurts worse. The 401k gets divided. She receives a portion of my retirement savings, and I receive all of hers. Given the disparities in the fault finding, I come out ahead. No spousal support. Virginia law is clear about adultery affecting that calculation, and her lawyer knows better than to push it. Tyler, I learned through the grapevine, gets fired. The affair happened on company time, using company resources. Their employer doesn't appreciate the liability. Emma keeps her job, barely. She's transferred to a different team, demoted from senior project manager to associate. I feel nothing about this. 18 months after I found that first text message, I'm sitting in Sophie's school auditorium watching her accept an award for her science fair project, the one about water filtration that she worked on while her parents' marriage imploded around her. Emma's here too, 3 rows back. We don't sit together anymore. Don't speak unless it's about pickup schedules or permission slips. Everything goes through a co-parenting app that timestamps our messages and keeps a record. Sophie beams from the stage, holding her ribbon. She's doing okay. Therapy helps, and kids are more resilient than we give them credit for. Lily still asks sometimes when Mommy and Daddy will live together again. I tell her the truth in words she can understand. Sometimes grown-ups can't live together anymore, but we both love you very much. After the ceremony, Emma approaches me in the parking lot. It's the first time we've been this close in months. She did great, Emma says. Her voice is careful, neutral. Yeah, she did. I was thinking, she stops, starts again. Maybe we could all get dinner. Celebrate together, for Sophie's sake. I look at her. Really look. She's thinner than she used to be, shadows under her eyes that weren't there before. The affair is long over. Tyler moved to Charlotte, last I heard. Emma's alone in her apartment with her IKEA furniture and her regrets. Part of me, the part that remembers proposing on that beach, that held her hand through labor, that built a life with her, that part wants to say yes, wants to believe we can be a family again in some new configuration. But I think about those 9 months of lies. The 140 phone calls after she was served, not one of them saying, "I'm sorry," until her lawyer made her. The way she tried to blame me in mediation, said I worked too much, wasn't attentive enough, drove her to it. No, I say. We'll keep things the way they are. Her face crumples slightly, but she nods. Okay. I understand. She doesn't, though. She still thinks this was about anger or punishment. She doesn't understand that it's about something simpler. I looked at the evidence, ran the numbers, and made a choice. The same way I'd approach any engineering problem. Some foundations, once cracked, can't be repaired. You have to tear them down and build something new. 2 years after the divorce is finalized, I'm dating someone. Rachel, a structural engineer I met at a conference. She's divorced too, has a son from her first marriage. We take things slowly. Neither of us is in a rush. The girls like her. That's important. Emma's dating too, I think. The girls mention a friend named David sometimes. I don't ask for details. Sophie's in middle school now, playing competitive soccer. Lily's discovered a talent for art. They split their time between 2 houses, 2 bedrooms, 2 sets of rules. It's not what I wanted for them. But they're loved, they're safe, and they're learning that actions have consequences, even if that's a harder lesson than I'd hoped to teach. On alternating Sundays, I have the house to myself. I've repainted the bedroom, replaced the furniture, changed things enough that it doesn't feel like a museum of my failed marriage. The photos on the walls now are just me and the girls, camping trips, soccer games, Lily's art show. I don't keep pictures of Emma anymore. Sometimes, late at night when the girls are asleep and the house is quiet, I think about that Tuesday morning when I saw the text message. I think about the fork in the road I faced. Confront her immediately, try to work it out, go to counseling, fight for the marriage. Would we still be together if I'd chosen differently? Maybe. People survive infidelity. Marriages recover from worse. But I remember the hotel receipts dating back 9 months, the secret credit card, the fitness tracker data showing her heart racing while she told me she was working late, the casual, practiced ease of her lies. I remember, and I know I made the right choice. Not because I wanted revenge, not because I enjoyed the battle, but because some betrayals are too fundamental to overcome. She didn't just cheat, she built an entire architecture of deception, brick by brick, lie by lie, while I coached our daughter's soccer team and helped with homework and believed in us. The marriage I thought I had never existed. I was living in a fiction she'd constructed. So I tore it down and built something real in its place. A smaller life, maybe, a harder one, but an honest one. The lesson, if there is one, is this. Love without trust is just a performance. And I'm done performing. The girls are the winners here. They have 2 parents who love them, even if those parents can't love each other anymore. I'm a winner too, in the ways that matter. I have my integrity, my self-respect, my daughter's trust. Emma lost everything. The marriage, the house, primary custody, her career trajectory, her reputation. I don't take pleasure in that. But I don't regret it either. Some people might say I was too harsh, that everyone deserves a second chance, that I should have fought for my marriage instead of fighting to end it. Those people didn't see the messages, didn't find the hotel receipts, didn't spend 9 days performing normalcy while their world crumbled in secret. I did what I had to do. I protected myself and my daughters. I chose truth over comfortable lies. And if I had to do it again, if I could go back to that Tuesday morning and choose a different path, I'd make the same choice, every single time. The screenshot changed everything, but I'm the one who decided what to build from the ruins. And that makes all the difference.